Here we are, 5 months into it, 5 month review of the Rex Shares weekly income stream, reviewing all 4 of the funds that they offer. Questioning is it a buy, sell, or hold. So we're going to give you a review of the past 5 months. We're going to give you a look at our portfolio of the Rex Shares program, and we're going to break down each individual fund for performance. But before we get into that, I got to do a shout out to all of our Patreon supporters and our YouTube subscribers. You guys are phenomenal. Without you, we couldn't keep this thing rolling. And if you're not part of the channel, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification. You don't want to miss a single one of our videos. We're always trying to put out information to help you grow your portfolio. Let's get into today's video. Now, before we dive in, a quick reminder, this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. It's not financial advice. Always do your own research and talk to a licensed financial advisor before making any investment decisions. And remember, past performance does not guarantee future results. So first off, we're going to look at the growth of the funds, and we'll take a look at this now. And they did not have a great week this week. A lot of funds were down this past week anyways. It's a time of the year. It's a struggle. So you look at the MSTR, MSII down 10.44%. COII and Nvidia, NVII, both down 5+%, and then the Tesla was down 4.12. So we look at the year-to-date growth. The number one fund right now is Nvidia, up 27.78%. Not bad. Tesla is up 15.56%. Both of them are trailing right around their 4-week moving average, so priced about right. The other 2 funds, yes, the Coin and the MSTR, are both down 13.89% for Coin and down 47.84% for MSTR. Now let's take a look at how they've done it with distributions. We take a look at distributions compared to last week to this week, and all but one fund is technically up. And the one fund that's down is the Tesla fund, and that one is, I mean, we're talking minuscule down. So they're both were, last week was 41.98 cents. This week it's 41.91 cents. So that is actually the largest in dividend payout. The second was Nvidia, and third is COII at Coin. When we look at the year-to-date yields, Tesla is doing 79%, Nvidia 52%, and we're seeing the MSII, which is the MSTR, at 34.72%. And I got to just throw it in there, a Coin at 33.33%. So all of them show some decent distributions. So one half of the program's doing, I think, pretty darn good. The other half of that growth, 2 out of the 4, what do you want to say? 2 out of the 4 are doing good and 2 out of the 4 are doing bad. So a 50-50 mix between those 2. When we take a look at the year-to-date average dividend, and pretty much the 2 big winners is Nvidia and Tesla. Both of them are way up over their averages, while the Coin is down and MSII is both down. So again, 50-50 mix. So let's take a look at the fund's return per week. And what we do here is you basically take the dividend price, you divide it by the stock price, and that gives you a number, a percentage of what the percentage is of the dividend of the share price. Kind of gives you an idea of how well they're doing. A base number that I personally use is 1.5 to 1.63. Between those 2 numbers, because the number one fund out there, everyone says the big income runner is ULTY. And ULTY always comes in about 1.63. So that's the base number I use. When we look at this across the board, Rex Shares just does not make the cut. The TSII at 1.45 is the best that they've had. and then Nvidia comes in at 0.96. So they're not, I can see where that 50-50 blend comes into. They're not generating as much income as we would like, but you're only using half the fund. So we got to give a little bit of consideration there as well. Now, return on investment. This is how I personally buy a ton of my stocks. Is I always take a look at, if I'm going to put money into it, how fast can I get my money out so that I can go ahead and reinvest into something else. And basically, once I get my money back, the fund is virtually free, and because I can work off of putting my money back to work. So what these work out to, the base number that you want is really, with weeklies, is 1 year or less, my opinion. You can always do your own research and come up with your own number. So when we look at REX shares, the Tesla comes at 1.41 years. Nvidia is 2.17 years. So in my opinion, again, this is a set and just set it on the shelf, let it go. You're not going to get your money back very quickly. It's going to take years to do it. So where are you at in your position? If you just want to set something up to just collect income, not worry about your money getting back to you quickly, then this is something to look at. If not, if you're like me, I want my money back so I can reinvest it and continue reinvesting it and rolling it. These are not the funds to be into. But at the same time, if you took and drip these things, definitely make a big difference for you. But when we take a look at, as I said, Tesla is at 1.41, Nvidia just two over, almost a quarter of a year over, 2.17. So now let's take a look at the total returns, because this is, to me, is the most important number to be looking at. You can chase high yields, and 9 times out of 10, you get burnt. You can chase total return, and you will actually have a better total package. So with REX shares, what we're trying to see is a good yield plus a good growth for a good total return. And the first fund that actually does that is the Tesla from REX shares, the TSII, a 79.15% yield plus a 15.56% growth for a total of 94.71%. Now, these numbers, of course, will always change as the stock price changes, the dividends change, but right now, the snapshot as of here in the 5th month of November, 94.71% for Tesla. Nvidia comes in at number 2 at 52.84% yield with a 27.78% growth for an 80.62% total return. Both of those funds have done exactly what I would expect from a REX shares. It's given us positives on both sides, income and growth, solid total returns. Now we get into the next one of COII, the REX shares coin growth and income. 33% year-to-date yield, but they've lost 13.89% in value. So they're really only collecting 19.44% total return. As 19.44% sounds like a good number, but if you don't get that big yield, you can't afford the loss in the growth. So it's not a real positive fund that I like to be into, even showing a 19% return. And then the next one is the prime example of what I'm talking about is MSII, the REX shares MSTR. This one here, 34.72% yield-to-date growth, or yield-to-date dividend, which is great. But when you take a look at the growth and you've lost 47.84%, your total fund has lost 13.12%. You can brag all you want about getting 34%. You're actually losing 13% coming back to you. So you're losing 13% of your own money just by having that fund. So kind of gives you the total returns. You can see that 2 out of the 4 funds are in my eyes, worth investing in. The other 2, very, very questionable. But let me show you my portfolio now, what I have done to kind of test this program when it first came out. And my fund lineup we basically just put $1,000 into each and every one of the funds. We did this back 5 months ago. So you look at my share pricing of what we paid for the funds, and then what the current price is, how many shares we were able to buy, which is about 40 shares each, and then what we've collected in dividends, what we've collected this week in dividends, and then everything breaks down totally. So right now, my fund value after only 5 months is up $51.12 for 1.27%. Why is that? Is because the MSTR, MSII, I've lost half my value of what I originally invested. I put $1,000 in, it's only worth $532. Coin, put $1,000 in, and we're $130 short on that one. Now the saving grace is going to be the Tesla, the TSII, and Nvidia. Both of them are up almost $500. So really, without those two funds, this fund would be terrible. So basically, I have $4,051.12 in value. Now we add in the dividends that we've collected, $846.69, for a total of 21.17% return. So I'm collecting dividends and I'm flat on my growth. So has Rex Shares been a success? In my eyes right now, not really. I'm flat on the fund. If I managed this properly, we would have sold off MSII a long while back. COI probably would still be holding into this one, strictly because we are gaining with the dividend, but I'd be putting more and more of the money back into the Tesla and the Nvidia, trying to make this bigger. So my total right now over 5 months is making $897, or 22% from a $4,000 investment. 22%, nice number. You can take that, but you can see you have to cherry pick across the board with the Rex Shares. It's not a set and forget. It's not one of these situations that you're all just pick all four and you're done. It's really, you have to understand the underlying stock. You have to understand their process of what they're doing, and you got to stay focused onto it. So tell me what you think. Do you like the Rex Shares? Do you not like the Rex Shares? I know I would have sold out already on the MSII, but we do this to give you guys a total bigger picture, so give you kind of idea what's going on. So give us our input. Hit it down below.
Thank you for watching. Press the like button, hit the subscribe button, and join. Leave any comments below and join our Patreon to support the channel. I'm Doug, the Retirement Guy.